Chris, next time you hear my voice, we'll be live, okay? Did you hear that, Chris? Noobsburg?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm going to go grab my guitar.
So far, we're off the ground.
Yeah.
We don't know where this is going, but we're in the spaceship, and we're just kind of.
I feel like I'm in. That's a good start.
I feel like I'm in Luke Skywalker's whatever that
X-Wing fighter.
No, the orange pinkish thing. That
Tauntaun?
No. That he used to fly around. That just hovers above the ground and zips around.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's
that's
a
what they
Lego.
used for Rihanna at halftime.
What's that?
I'm sorry, I forgot I wasn't even on.
No, you're not on yet. Shut the. God damn you!
All right, take two. Two.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike and T. This is probably my favorite show we've done in a long time because I literally didn't prep a fucking thing.
Excellent.
So this one's not on me. If you guys hate this episode, if you love this episode, I think our dear friend J. Chris Newberg gets all the love and hopefully respect for that.
Yeah.
Mr. Newberg, are you there?
And blame when it goes sideways.
What's up?
How are you, buddy?
What's going on? It's so good
Nothing.
to be here.
Okay, I'm looking in the background. Detroit Rams, 2022. Okay, I get it. And then I see Heroin has a great publicist. That show doesn't exist anymore. So I don't know why.
That is a headstone. That is the
Yeah, it
my
is.
tombstone. It is the tombstone
Is that?
of that
Oh
show.
wait, did I just dead name your show?
You sure did.
Oh
No,
sure.
it's been dead name. It's been dead name for like 2 days. And
Okay.
yeah. So now it's called Newberg.
Oh God,
I like it. Hello,
Hey
Newberg.
man.
it's better than Oldberg, which you are.
Well, I'm the oldest Berg, but there's no reason for people to just complain anymore. It's like, you know how it is when you date someone horrible and then
Yeah.
you break up and all of your friends are like, "Oh yeah, she was horrible." And you're like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck?"
Yeah.
I had so many people do that to me with the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if somebody told you that she was horrible before you started dating her?
No, I understand that you didn't like the name initially. I totally get it.
I like the
I
name.
understand that.
It's not that we didn't
do.
like it. That was just the issue that we said you were going to have. Was coming
it's
into
just a lot of-
sponsors and things like that.
If you take your time and just read the name, it makes perfect sense.
But you can't.
Who does
you
that?
can't ask people to do that. You
No,
can't
I
ask
know,
people to
but
read.
isn't that kind of silly? Where it's like if you just think about it and go, Heroin has a great publicist. What does that mean? Well, it means something horrible is still being used by millions. It must have an amazing publicist that's doing all the fucking. But I understand. I get it. People have shit on me for years for having Detroit in the name. So, but I think if guys can make Ice Cream Social a popular show, anything can fly. You can make anything popular. But Newberg's great. I love the new logo, Chris. And, hopefully you'll have me and Troy on from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely. But I thought, we were texting the other day.
Yeah.
And you reached out. We were chattering about the show. And I was like, you know what, dude? Your fans always text me for stuff. They have a lot of questions. And this goes back to, the beginning of the pandemic. And so I was like, why don't I come on the show? Why don't I interview you? So I wrote out some questions, some fun ones, some serious ones.
All right.
And
are you going to be like Barbara Walters and make people cry? Is that the goal?
I don't know. It's up to you, man. It depends on how honest you want to be.
Oh,
Depends
shit.
entirely on your answers.
Well,
it's like.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
please.
I know this
No. This is your show.
This is your show, and you gotta listen. This sucks.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't have anything in front of me. I've got a stack of trans stories that I'm going to do. Regardless, I'm going to weave the trans stories and the Trump stories in all over this. So that we'll
you've
start.
got a lot of bitterness. You've got some bitterness on your tongue.
You know what? I do have a lot of bitterness, and I'm not happy about it. But it is what it is.
Hold on. Let's slow down there, Johnny. We'll get to it. We'll get to your rage.
Yeah.
All right. So you've been in radio for the longest time. Obviously, everyone who listens to the show knows that you had a history at WRIF, and you were one of the first 6 people on the planet with a podcast before people started them, and and you've pioneered, and you and Jay had the Detroit cast for the longest time, and people seem to be obsessed over it. That's kind of when I sort of started talking to you guys more.
Yeah.
And then we decided to have me do a show, etc. And then pandemic, and then you got sick.
Yeah.
And then you kind of ghosted your audience. You kind of ghosted your life.
Yeah,
And
I did.
My question is, first off, that's absolutely your choice. You can totally do that. But coming from a dude who's worked in radio where you don't take bullshit answers, you do investigative questions, you go behind the scenes, you do all this stuff for all of these different people who all follow you on the show, and now all of a sudden, whoosh, you're gone.
Yeah.
Do you have
I pay for it.
What'd you do?
I pay for it dearly to this day for those choices. And that, I'll tell you, that was a very conscious decision to do that. I was spending time with my family. I was with my niece and nephews and my brother and sister, my parents, and I was getting questions a lot on Facebook and direct message and email. And I felt like I wasn't able to really unplug like I had to and look after myself. And I started to do some stuff, and then what I found myself doing, I was doing mailbox runs. I don't know if you remember that, T.
Yeah.
I brought a studio out there with me to Arizona, and I hated doing that. I like being in person with people more than anything. But I would do these. I would grab Marshall and G's mailboxes down the road or whatever, where they got a whole set of mailboxes, and I would just broadcast there. But I felt like I could never disconnect, and then there were more questions than answers, and I really didn't have answers for people. And so finally I was like, I gotta just stop. I have to just, for my health and well-being, I need to just stop right now. And if that costs me everything, then that's the price I have to pay, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, but you also said that you regret it every day. So do you regret that you stopped?
Well,
he said he pays the price for it every day.
I pay the price for it every day.
He didn't say he regrets it every day.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Listen, Troy.
Yes, sir.
Roy, you're
Yes, sir.
correct. But for the purpose of this conversation, we could have just kept moving forward.
Well, hey, regret is
Just
not
so
the same. I'm just clarifying.
I know you're moderating, and you're killing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're wonderful. No, you're correct. You pay the price every single day. So would you have done something different?
I don't know. It's a dick move to ghost everybody, but my closest friends would say they didn't spend a lot of time talking to me either. You know what I mean? I talked to Troy a handful of times. I talked to Chris a handful of times, but I really disconnected from everything. And the price I paid for that is your audience goes away. They're going to find something else to listen to. So when you disappear for 2 years and you come back hey, it's everybody's yeah, fuck off, man. We found 10 other podcasts that are great, And in that couple of years, really was how long it was. In that couple of year span, probably 2 million more podcasts popped up. And to the point that it's almost embarrassing. I have a podcast. Oh, who doesn't? Every fucking guy that works at a gas station has a podcast now.
But that doesn't mean that everybody who has a podcast is good.
No, absolutely not. But it's funny. I go back to a conversation I had with Drew, and I know what he means by this. We had lunch a while back, and he said, I fucking hate the word podcast. And I was like, what does he mean by that? Because he likes doing it. It's the same as having a show just with no bosses completely. And, but what he meant was, I think it took something to be in that career. Like anybody can just do it. Not anybody can just do stand-up comedy. Not anybody can be an electrician, but anybody can plug in a microphone and go, I have a podcast. And so I think that's what he meant by that, was like, hey, you had to earn your stripes and come up and suck like everybody else on a microphone for the first time that was doing a show, and not just anybody could do it. Whereas now, literally everybody can do it. And so I think that's what he meant by that, and I agree with him. I know what he means by that. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I explained that well, but...
No, you did. But my question is, okay, so because there's a ton, like that's like saying, like right now in television, there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of channels.
Yeah.
Independent ones, people can do them on their phone. They can have their own web channels. It's obviously not sustainable. Just because everybody can do it, but the people who are good or the people who are capable are going to maintain their skill set and continue to grow. You're good at this.
Thank you.
It shouldn't matter to you that other people try it.
Yeah. No, it's funny, like it used to be, like, oh, what do you do for a living? And it's like, well, I work at Riff. I work on the Drew and Mike show, and people would be like, well, now you say, I do a podcast, and it's like people almost roll their eyes, like, really? Okay. So does everyone.
But you're the fucking king of not giving a fuck of what other people think, and you're sitting here upset that some fucking banana is rolling their eyes at you, and you're like,
grape.
Well, yeah, grape is a better word.
Yeah.
I've been doing this forever, but you're trying it now. Gosh, I should probably fuck off, dude. Get a hold of yourself. I mean, it's like, I understand. Yeah, if you think about how overwhelming competition is, I read a statement a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago that said in last year 22 million new songs were released. 22 million.
Holy shit!
And then it's because it's the same thing as a podcast. You can release a song if you have a phone and an instrument. And then it's done. It doesn't mean they're all good, but there's no way you could possibly hear
22 million.
It's insane. And it's up from 10 million from the previous year. So it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So do you still like doing this?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I do.
You love it?
I do love it. It's really one of the few things that actually gives me joy each day is doing this. I'm also, I think anybody that's looking for the approval of strangers, which is essentially what a comic is doing on stage, or someone doing a podcast or a radio show, you're looking for that acceptance. And it seems like that acceptance was easy to get just a few years ago. Like everybody, both sides, and it's not lost on me that you can have people like love you one minute and then curse you to death for a take, politically speaking, or there's so much divisiveness right now that it's not lost on me, and so that makes it harder to enjoy, because I never want to ruin people's day or have people go fuck that guy. You want people to enjoy what you're doing, and so there's an inner battle of, I have to believe in what I'm doing. I have to have some level of excitement about the stories that I handpick for Troy and I to kick around, or whoever is sitting here with me to kick around. But that's not, it's not, I never had that concern before. I never worried like, oh, I can't make this entertaining. But now it's like, it seems like half the subjects you touch on, some people are going to cheer you on and other people are going to tell you to fuck yourself. And so it's a really weird place right now. And I don't know if you feel that, Chris, at all, or if that's just because of the topics I choose.
Chris is right down the middle. He doesn't offend anybody.
Yeah, I know. I notice he does that, but you're genuine with that. When I talk to you, there's not a lot of like, you don't take a hardcore position on issue X and fuck anyone who disagrees with me. You kind of let shit roll, and I wish I could do that better, but I think part of my personality is just that I don't do that very well.
It's not that I don't have a hard position on things. It's just like having been in so many like political situations growing up, like with being in a band, one of 5 people, and everything voted on and talking about. You have to like you learn that there's more than one fucking way to look at stuff. And it's like also, and you talk about comedy. Yeah, I noticed that you can polarize and alienate people with certain topics. So I personally, I avoid some of them because some topics are done to death. Now, in the net that I cast about questions for you, a couple of them were saying that maybe your show, and again, this is am I gone?
No.
Oh, I couldn't. It's so weird. I was like, oh no, did they hang up on me? Because
Yeah,
that
you're
would be
done.
the best.
That's our time. Thank you, Mr. Newberg.
Thanks for the interview. No, but it seems that you mentioned politics, and it seems to be that the show leans a little politically heavier than it used to. Why? And you even said to me, I don't want to be an all political show.
Yeah.
But it seems to be going there. So why can't you just, moving forward, knowing that you said, I don't want a show that's crazy political, why can't you just pick fun topics? Not to say that, hold on, don't roll your eyes at me.
I'm
just
not
saying
rolling my
like,
eyes. No,
I'm not saying avoid politics, but at the same time, if you have the people who like listening to you saying, give it a rest, dude, like maybe talk about something else. It doesn't mean that they don't value or like respect what you're saying, but it's like, I know that you have a lot of Republicans who listen to your show, which is awesome, super great.
I have a lot of liberals too. I mean, at least I have
awesome.
in the past. They still reach out to me. Maybe they don't listen at all, but some of them act like they do. I don't know.
But why do you want to make everything so fucking political?
I don't want to make everything so political. I've found it very difficult over the last 4 or 5 years, really. It seems like all that stuff that used to just be in the background, and it would come up every 2 or 4 years, it really is front and center, and it's like a culture thing in society now. And I don't know how to avoid it. I feel inauthentic if I'm picking stories just like to avoid offending someone. Like, that's never been my thing. It's like, okay, what grabs my interest? And I know a lot of people in radio, and that's kind of the attitude you had to have, was like, well, I'm going to pick what I find entertaining, and that'll be that. And I know from doing the Drew and Mike show, for instance, we all heard it. Every time Drew would get on a fucking Beatles kick, you know what I mean? It was like, all right, dude, fuck the Beatles. There were people that hated hearing about the Beatles, but it was like, no. Drew gets to pick the topics. You don't have to agree with all of them. You don't have to like all of them, but that's his thing. And that's what winds him up and gets him going. And when he finds something fascinating, the hope is that you have enough talent to make even stuff that is divisive entertaining on some level for people. And maybe that's a pipe dream. Maybe that's easier to do 5-6 years ago than it is today. I don't remember it ever being this divisive. And at the same time, I've always had this, for better or worse, attitude of like, I'll be goddamn if someone's going to tell me what I can and can't talk about. Because I went through it. I used to go through this with Jay, and it drove me nuts because, say I'd have 10 stories picked out for the day, right? I'd have this story about this topic, this one, and 9 of those stories, Jay would be just fine. He'd play ball with. They were great. And then I'd have one story in there that he would be like, oh my God, we're talking about teachers fucking kids again. And he'd like take a knee on it. And I'd be like, dude, I can't hit a home run with everybody all the time. Like 90% of today's show was absolutely fine for you. And then there was this one moment, is it worth taking a knee and fucking pouting like a 5-year-old over it? It just seemed stupid. And, coming from where I did and understanding that fully, like, no, it was Drew and Mike's show. What Drew wanted to talk about, he talked about. But politically, they would have been, like, it'd be hard to do that show today, like we did back years ago. I'm sure a lot of it. I mean, Mike Clark was bitch, that's Hillary Clinton.
Right.
He was shitting on the left, but it just wasn't quite as divisive then. Everyone just kind of laughed and went, yeah, she is kind of a beast of a bitch, whatever. But now it's like, dig your feet in and, but at the same time, saying all that, not to keep talking here, I do understand that I can overdo it with something. I think I did that with, there are certain stories where it's like you can't get off it almost, whether it's, I remember with Ebola, I spent probably too much time on that shit a few years ago. There was that Malaysian Airlines crash that was like, oh, did some alien shoot it out of the sky? Where did the plane go? For months, I was all over that, and I was kind of conspiracy theorist level about it. The TOEIC stories, Teacher of the Year candidates, as I call them, which was, hot chicks fucking their male students. And that guy, it was like, enough. How many fucking TOEIC stories can you do? All of them. Yeah. And so then it got to a point where it was like, okay, unless she gangbanged the whole class, I guess it's not worth. She's got to really earn us doing that story. Otherwise, it's just like, hey, another semi-hot 20-something banged a 17-year-old boy, and we would just argue, is he really damaged? Is it really that big? But now it's like, if you even mention Trump, it's like, blah! And I like the debate. I like the trans debate, but I have been trying, and Troy, I hope you would acknowledge this, that I have done less.
Oh, absolutely.
Of the politics stuff. I'm trying anyways.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely been toned down.
Yeah. It's not perfect.
Let me ask you some quick questions, just rapid fires.
I think that means shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it does. I know. I'm picking up what he's laying down.
No, it's good.
Newberg. No, go ahead.
No, it's
7 inches.
It's like
soft.
Every single answer you give is like the perfect soundbite that eventually became swollen and just dilapidated and turned into like the longest fucking answer ever. You're like, am I on a hamster wheel?
I'm used to hosting this show, son.
We got to fill an hour and a half today, man.
You got 45 minutes.
Okay. Trump is an easy person to talk about. Agreed or disagreed? Agree.
That he's easy to talk about?
He's an easy person to talk about, whatever level?
Both.
Okay, great. Hold on.
Okay.
You realize he's the lead story on every single television show, on every podcast that you roll your eyes at, every news channel, everything in the world, Fox, CNN, he's everywhere. So with that said, do you see how maybe that could kind of be burnout for your fans who are looking to escape it?
100%. 100%.
That's it. I mean, listen, the man, as far as I'm concerned, is blessed at marketing, and his name is on everyone's tongue. I've never seen it. I've never seen anything like it. He's like Orange Jesus.
I think.
And like, people don't want to talk about him as much. They just don't.
Yeah, and a lot of networks are not. And I understand that. I understand. I think the reason that I've gotten, like I've said many times, that I'm really not that big a fan of Trump. We spent years blasting that dude, right?
Sure.
I used to pull audio from his interviews and fucking play because they were so megalomaniac, fucking egomaniac. They were so over the top, everything that came out of his mouth, that it was easy. And we used to shit all over him. I think the coverage has been so biased and unfair, okay, for someone who probably deserves a lot of the beating. It's been really unfair the way the entire like media landscape, Hollywood landscape piled on, and that I felt offended by. That part, it was like, now is it my job to defend the guy? No, but when you see that, at least for me personally, when I see that over the top, like all guns are out and the guy's worse than Hitler and worse than Satan, I'm going, really? Okay, I just don't see it like that, but. At the same time, I'm trying not.
All I got to do is say that, so you don't see it that way, and then move on. It's like literally so many people. Like you're as an I'm no way ever schooling another person on entertainment or how to run a show, but it's like I know for a fact so many people come to us, yourself included, to escape, and if they escape into another pocket of crazy, which whatever it is, not saying that it is, all I'm saying is. I hear you for wanting to defend the things that you think are right, and it's obviously your show and you should put stuff on there. Yeah. But factor in maybe some people are a little burned out on politics.
Oh, just some people. I would say more than some people. And I understand that people in this room are burned out with it. I get it. It's not lost on me.
No, good. Then now a serious question. When you wear the suit, the full football suit of San Francisco, like with the helmet, just be honest. You got the pants on, and the pads, and the socks, and the helmet. Have you ever gotten an erection?
No.
Come on.
I wish I could say yes. I'm trying to think if I ever like role played with a chick. and showed up like a middle linebacker.
Just have her stand in front of the
Oh my
fucking
God.
bed and just come from a fucking edge rush and just pound
That
her
would
into
be
the bed.
horrifying as a woman. All of a sudden you're in bed and there's a man with a helmet.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. And if
That'd be so fucking scary.
and just because I haven't been hard in that outfit, like full football
The
pants,
cup
helmet,
is very
the whole-
restraining.
doesn't mean I'm not all for it
Fair enough.
at some point.
Would you ever have a trans person as a guest on your show?
I have had trans people as guests on my show. I had one
Okay,
come in,
so then-
I've had a couple, and
Okay.
there's and I honestly love hearing from them. Marina came in with the Woke Bay, and she just moved here. Biological male, identifies as female, and she's dating the Woke Bay, who thought he was transgendered at one point when I first met him when he was probably 18 years old. He was listening to the show. And he was awesome. And I have we have Jasmine that listens. And to a person, they kind of applaud when I do the trans stuff because they think that there's a whole population in society speaking for them, and they don't like it. They don't feel like it's speaking their truth. Not that I need to stand up for them, but I'll get messages from them or emails where they're seriously worried about people going off the deep end because of this over the top push of trans in every aspect of life and drag queen shows, for elementary school kids, and they don't feel safe for the first time ever, and that to me can't be discarded either. How do you feel about it?
About trans people?
Yeah, just in general, or the it's not about people, individual people. I mean about the narrative. Do you think the narrative is fair, or like, oh yeah, this has always been here, it's crazy, or do you think they've overdone it a little bit and are pushing people to snap almost? It feels like intentional to me, to like
I think that
divide people.
Well, I think the easiest thing to do is to follow the lean of fear that's like thrust upon us from the news. It's just like fucking what we don't understand, we're usually afraid of. Now, I don't have a problem with admittedly, there was a lot of times at the beginning where I would do jokes. When I was younger, I was absolutely the person I was. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was totally the guy who made jokes and said things and was inappropriate.
Are you saying like tranny or something you would say on stage, or I know that's a bad one.
I would
And I will
absolutely
admit
said
we
that
did.
word.
Still do. Really.
I would have said the word, but I wouldn't have had any. The thing that it's like I'm such an idiot because it's like the more I learn, it's just you just don't want to there's no reason to hurt people who aren't bugging you. Like no one
Yeah.
no trans person is bothering us. They're not. They don't care. And it's like, what if they're into whatever they're into? Cool. Why would I want to get in the way of someone else's happiness?
Yeah.
And if it makes some people uncomfortable, it's like, okay, then it does. I mean, I get it. It's because they don't understand it.
Well, I would say this. Trans has existed for a long time. We've seen people, whether it's drag queens or, some level of trans people, they're all over in New York. I've seen them all over the streets of New York and Royal Oak and Ferndale. And I've never had a single problem with any of them, ever, or the gay community.
Why would you?
No, and I never would. I love the gay. I love the trans. I mean that wholeheartedly. I welcome them into the show. I encourage them to reach out to the show. I think they have fascinating, interesting stories. Where I have a problem is I don't know what the push is in society to normalize something so much that the government's involved, all of social media is involved, the school system is involved. That seems like it's going somewhere that feels so over the top, inflated, and not real that a lot of that I find that disturbing. Like, I've never had a problem with a gay guy, gay girl, or trans person ever. But that this push where it's like, where are you going with this? What are we doing right here? It's confusing. It's a little scary. I'm not afraid of trans people or gay people, but it's a little like, why so much? Why is the government funding drag queen story hours for elementary school kids? Why is that a thing?
It's like there's a difference between supporting it and encouraging it.
Right.
And we've crossed over the level of support, and now we're into this encouragement stage. And I think it's creating a false sense of
reality,
identity. Well, for a lot of kids, you're starting to see it snowball in a way that's not authentic. And that's where we think it's dangerous.
Yeah.
In my opinion, not to speak for
And
anybody else.
and dangerous is the right word, Troy.
Yeah, that's it.
Where I think when you're talking about young impressionable kids and you're looking up to a 17-year-old TikTok star who's having hormone replacement, is being affirmed by everyone they've ever met, is having, at least the baseline into some surgical procedures. I think it's horrible when I see someone like Chloe Cole, who at 16 has cut her healthy breasts out, and then at 18 decides, holy shit, what have I done? And wants to warn people, and now they hate her. Like, wait a minute, you don't get to have it both ways. Like, this is someone who was so on the team, they cut their fucking tits off. And now they're an asshole because they think that they might have been manipulated and pushed into something and then overly praised for that. That seems highly dangerous. And why would you want to silence that person? Why can that person only do an interview on Fox News? That bothers me a lot because I have a young niece and nephews. And, when I hear from teachers that go, yeah, it's crazy. In my second grade class, I told them about my situation and 5 girls came out as trans. And I'm like, no, they didn't. You cannot tell me that 5 kids in your second grade class are trans. That's madness. And so that's why I get so worked up about it. You can tell I'm worked up about it right now. Yeah, but it has nothing to do with those individual people at all. I love everybody, man. I really do. I just think it's scary for society. That's all.
Sure, but I mean, it's just like, are you ever interested in hearing from the people who believe other than you? As far as like, okay, that's all.
What do you mean? What is the?
I have no. I mean, are you just open to discussions as far as like this is concerning to you? But it's very exciting to some people. It's very I agree with you. Impressionable children, that's a pretty big decision. And like, if that's coming at you from media and everything else, absolutely, it's going to be impacting and influential. Yeah. But like, there's no but. It's like, it's just a weird situation. I look at it. I don't look at it. I don't feel attacked by it anymore because I've just chosen to try to educate myself to the best I can. Because like, whether your grandparents like it or not, they have to learn how to use the new remote. You know what I mean? It's just like they have to learn. Yeah. And it's the same thing with pronouns. It's the same things with gender identity.
So where's the pronoun line for you then? Is it 74 of them out there? That's cool, whatever. Like what social norms still sit in society?
It doesn't, but it doesn't bother me what someone wants to refer to themselves as. It doesn't. It has zero effect on me whatsoever.
But I can still find it funny. I could still find it funny that you want to be referred to as Ziger. Okay, we're just making up words now.
And people like Ziger can also like not find it funny because those people are like persecuted by a lot of people who don't understand it and who don't like it. And I learned initially when I was about the pronoun, the way the pronouns are listed on their site is so they can identify with like people. So people who have the same pronoun identifications as they do have someone that they can talk to and feel safe that they aren't going to make fun of. Absolutely, dude. You can think whatever fucking you think is funny because you do.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean,
I have a dark sense of humor. I'll admit it. I do. And so my twisted mind goes to the worst places. But I'm dead serious when I say it, Chris, and I mean this wholeheartedly. I have no issue at all with anyone on the Alphabet Mafia team at all. I don't. Okay. But at the same time, I think it was powerful. A couple weeks ago, I was telling T about it when it started trending hard on Twitter of LGB without the T. Okay, and all these people came out of the woodwork, like this whole Twitter woke world that you had to pretend to be a part of. The gates came flooding out, and maybe it was just a one-day thing or a one-weekend thing. I don't know, but a lot of these people felt like their movement was hijacked completely, and they don't agree with it. They agree much more with regular, like, dude, I just want to live my life. I don't want to go into kids' classrooms and be fucking in full thong and wig and makeup and be reading to kids. Like, why would anyone want that? I don't want children to be operated on or give hormone treatments. I don't, and so that's why I'm LGB without the T. And that was a big thing. So I think a lot of those people were scared to talk, and you can get bounced. You can get bounced out of polite society if you take a viewpoint like that. And I think a lot of people get left out of the conversation. There's plenty of support. There's plenty of support. Have you ever looked up how many fucking holidays the alphabet community has? It was hilarious. It was like 160. It was crazy. Like every day we're celebrating something. It's like, I get it.
But so what? That's the cool part about it.
But I found it funny.
Celebrate.
Yeah.
It is funny, but it doesn't have to be mean funny.
No. I don't think. No, but to list it all
also,
off.
I'm not telling you what. I'm in no way telling you to laugh at whatever you. I mean, honestly, I have the most fucked up sense of humor on earth. I totally get it.
Yeah,
but it's like,
I know.
And there's some of it that's ridiculous. There is some of it that it's not ridiculous in the way that it's like, oh, this is preposterous, go fuck yourself. It is tough for someone who is not young, like both of us, to try to just like comprehend. There was that story that was online today or yesterday. A teacher at a very prestigious school in England said, "Good afternoon, ladies," and she was fired because 20
Really?
there was 20 children in the she was you can look it up, and it was just like she literally
that's crazy though.
Right.
But she
Was it an
also,
all-female school? Was it an all-female
Yes.
school? Yeah. Okay.
all-female school, very prestigious. Actually, I don't know if it was all-female.
But if you
but
don't
I got the
identify as a
impression-
female, get the fuck out.
I got the impression. Yeah, I got the impression is that that it was but I would imagine that there's probably no such thing as like all-girls schools anymore. I would imagine that's going to be a thing of the past.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, it's like she literally
So
had
what
to
did
go
they
against
say-
a council of kids. Like these kids, there was like 7 or 8 people who were like deciding her fate as an adult teacher.
Sounds
for
rational,
Miss-
reasonable.
And it's just
That's crazy to me. See, that would bother me though. I'm already starting to get worked up about a story I haven't even read. See what you just did to me? I'm like,
yeah, but that's you know, and that's
But that's the level of insanity that we're at. And just calling
Absolutely.
it out on that.
yeah.
But at the same time, if you're this young person, and again, I know that you hate me for walking down the middle, Troy, and I'm not. But if you're a young, confused
You
person,
are. That's okay though.
if you are this young person if you're this young person who's confused and you're not sure, and you're going through all these weird feelings about your sexuality, and you think one thing, and maybe through your research you've decided that you're a they. Whatever. You've decided that you're a they, you don't just totally identify as whatever, and you put all this thought into it, and all of a sudden here comes some lady who's like, "What's up, bitches? How's it going? You ready to learn sociology?" You're like, offended. And obviously these people who are offended have tons of money because they're the children of rich people.
Yeah.
So that teacher was fucked. She was fucked. And regardless of whether it's outrageous or whatever, it's a news story that just makes everybody fucking talk one way or the other.
But don't you think do you find any of it dangerous for society? Because to me, it's like, I worry more about the danger of that, of letting fucking, a third grade class decide the teacher's fate. Like, what are you doing?
That's preposterous.
And knowing that children are so impressionable, I think that's why, the people that have detransitioned, I feel horrible for. They're young, beautiful people who were getting praise on a level that made them think, yeah, this is me. And I don't know, for some of them, maybe they were just a confused gay person. Maybe they actually were trans. But they got so much approval and so much praise for coming out bravely like this. And then when they find out 2 years later, when they grow up a little bit, that, oh, yeah, I wasn't. And then it's like those people are shit on. That to me is insanity too, and I think that's dangerous. You might not see it that way, and I don't know if that's because you've been in Hollywood too long, or if your attitude would be different if you were still in Detroit.
My attitude from Michigan is totally different because the lifestyle in Oakland County, in comparison to Los Angeles, is an entirely different world.
Right.
I was raised in an upper middle class family. I went to a very expensive private school, and like there was not issues that I would have out here. I mean, there are people. It is fucking totally different. It's a completely different lifestyle. It's a completely different.
Isn't it
thing.
great
And
though?
It's like,
Isn't it great? I love
love it.
walking around Sunset
I think it's
Boulevard
awesome.
with you and Michelle, and it's like the freaks come out at night, man. It's awesome. Good for them.
It is, isn't it?
Dressed to the
And-
nines. It's awesome.
And trans people read great stories, and drag queens are awesome. There's a Hamburger Mary's every Sunday has the greatest drag show, bottomless mimosas, and
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. So I'm all for it. So all right,
Do you
moving
think
on.
do you think that's best suited for adults or children?
I don't think it's bad either way, because I think I remember. I mean, a story is a story. A character is a character.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm different. I look at it as theater, and it's
Some
like,
people would say,
what-
what's the difference between a kid taking a picture with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and a drag queen? And I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like, nah, you're up to something, and I don't know what it is. You're not being honest with me fully, and I don't like it.
I just we're all people. We have different. I mean, like
People are people, so
it sounds so
why
stupid,
should-
but it's just like that you never really know what anybody else is going through. So it's like if it doesn't really affect you, and why would I stand in the way?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't.
But I
have any
agree with you.
problem.
I think we agree right there.
All right.
You
So,
know, maybe I don't portray that on the show very well, but I do believe like you do.
that's good. Well, I mean, regardless, I mean, do you think that you should? So now that you've said what you've said about politics and transgender topic, or the alphabet mafia, as you so eloquently refer to,
That's not mine. I wish I could claim that one. That might be Chappelle's.
all right, fair enough. But saying what you've said and talking about what you've talked about, do you have any interest in, like, do you think you want to apologize to anybody?
Fuck no.
For
Hell
fuck
no.
no. So you
No.
have no. So you feel now before you were on Drew and Mike.
Yeah.
Who was someone that you were like a crazy fan of growing up to, listening to?
Drew and Mike.
So how long did you listen to Drew and Mike before you worked for
I
them?
listened to who was the CSX morning JJ and the Morning Crew. So JJ
Yeah.
and the Crew was on. I was always a fan of talk radio, even in
Side note.
Yeah.
Side note. Did his son pass
Who?
recently? JJ's.
I hadn't heard that.
I thought he posted that his son passed, and I thought it was
Fuck.
the Nashville musician fella. He's pretty far right. Would you agree?
Who?
JJ.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never talked about that stuff with him.
Every once in a while, he'll come at me, like I'll say something, and he'll respond in the most like Trumpiest way.
Really?
And I'll just be like, and I love the guy. I mean, I'm not gonna ever argue with that guy. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. You don't care.
Sorry.
See,
No,
and I find
go-
I find very little enjoyment in doing that on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't really engage in that stuff. I sort of save it for here, but I don't know, man. I don't know. There's no right or
I
wrong
understand.
answer. I think that's the hard part. And I
Sure.
want to be liked. I want to be liked by everybody. I want everybody to enjoy, what's going on and the type of show that we put on. I certainly don't want. There's no audience type that I'd be like, get them out of here. Fuck those people. Like, I just don't
Sure.
feel that way in my heart of hearts.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So you've been talking. So you changed from the Detroit cast to TDC.
Yeah.
I don't want to make the comparison from Kentucky Fried Chicken to KFC.
That's fair.
I want you to know that no one is fooled. We know what TDC stands for.
Yep.
Why do you want to bounce? Why in your brain do you still have Detroit connected? And why do you go back and forth with getting rid of it?
Well, I've been told to get rid of it for 10 years, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And the backstory about why I did it was not to be like I started the Drewcast, right? When we left Riff in May of 2013, I had just gotten all the equipment to start a home studio, and I planned on still doing the Drew and Mike show, and then like Fellhauer and I would screw around and just kind of work on chops together and maybe put a podcast, whatever that is, put that out there. And then we ended up leaving that gig. And so all of a sudden, it came about really quick and had some guys, Tim, came over and helped set that studio up. And we launched the Drewcast. Drew Lane's name, was obviously the biggest. And Mark and I were with him. And so we did that for a few months. And then they went to, the radio station to do the sports talk. And I had Mike Clark coming in to do it with me. And I was like, maybe we call it the Mike's Cast, or something like that. And Clark really wanted to call it the Mike Cast, like for himself, because of the competition between he and Drew and the fact that I called it the Drew Cast. And so it was like, I'm as equally important as Drew, so it should be called the Mike Cast or Clark Cast or something. My thought was, there's no fucking way this dude is going to be doing this in 2 years, right? Like, he was declining. He was already asking for big paydays, and I knew it was going to be a long fucking time, if ever, before seeing one of those. So I was like, I'm not calling it the Clark Cast and then having to change it in 2 months when you fucking bail. And so I was like, the Detroit Cast. And so I was just kind of stuck with it. And it's a pain in the ass to change. As you know, rebranding is not easy. But that whole time and every fucking year since, any radio guy I've talked to was like, you got to lose Detroit. You got to lose Detroit. And so I figured coming back after a couple of years off, no better time than then. And then I think the girl that did our logo, I think she did a great job. I love the logo.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's really whatever.
Good.
And for people that have been there all along, they know what TDC is. So
right on.
Good enough for me.
Good enough for the Colonel. Good enough for the chicken.
That's right.
Hey, I'm going to pay bills real quick.
Hold on, Chris.
Hey,
Hold
Chris.
your horses.
Pump your brakes, sir. Dad's talking. Hey, when you support our sponsors, you support TDC, and we appreciate that more than you know. So if you're in the market for something new or pre-loved, or you just want to sell your car, please give our friends at Zott a shot. They've been with us since the beginning, and they love taking care of you. Get out there today and lease a new 22 Bronco Sport Big Bend as low as $298 a month, or you can buy the damn thing for 1.9% financing. Or stop by Zott and lease a 22 Explorer XLT as low as $282 a month, or buy that cheeky bastard for 1.9%. Finally, you can lease a 22 F-150 Super Crew XLT at $244 a month or lower. That's right, you could actually qualify for another $20 to $50 off with a private Ford offer. Give Anthony Ergabara a call and see if you are eligible. Plus, you can buy this bad boy at just 2.9% financing for 72 months as well. You can get details and search Zott Ford's banging inventory at dealsinthed.com. As you were, fellas.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Is Michelle there, by the way? Can we say hi?
She's in it. I can't disturb her when she's preparing for her show.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a thing. So when you got sick the first time, when you had health stuff,
congestive heart failure.
Congestive heart failure. How is that? Is that healing? Is it healed?
Well, I don't like. Here's my thought on going to the doctor. If I say I have AIDS, but I haven't gone to
AIDS.
Yeah. Say I have AIDS and I don't go to the doctor, they can't tell me that I have the AIDS. So as long as I don't go see someone to get diagnosed, I don't have it yet. So that's kind of my philosophy with everything. It's like, you know what? If I just stay out of the doctor's office, they can't tell me more bad news. So I don't have it. So when I was in California, I met a wonderful Indian doctor at Stanford who was kind of picked up where my cardiologist here in Michigan left off. And I'd been taking meds, I'd been eating better and all that kind of stuff, and doing a little exercise. And he said, your heart is like back to normal. And I was like, no fucking way. He's like, yeah, man, you're doing awesome. He said, I swear to God, you had weeks to live. You were going to be dead in a matter of weeks. And both cardiologists told me that. If you did, and it's kind of miraculous how much you've turned this around. And I'm like, great. Well, can I get off these meds? And they were like, no, never. So that sucks. Getting those meds, it's a giant pain in the ass. But they said there's been research done on this, and there's possible backsliding you can do and get into heart trouble again. And there's really not any evidence of it being a positive thing, you getting off those meds. So there's no reason to get you off them because you could only potentially go backwards.
Says Big Pharma.
Yeah, right. Well, these were the doctors, and, I don't know. But yeah, that was the first one.
Do you still smoke?
Not really. I'm trying to, I've been taking the patch. And, so what is that? I'm still getting nicotine. But I'm trying, dude. It's really hard. I haven't been drinking at all.
Oh, that's good. How long's that been?
It's been a minute.
6 months, probably.
Yeah, at least.
I mean, I haven't really drank.
Yeah, I had, well, in all honesty, I had a fucking spectacle of a night here. I probably shouldn't talk about this, but
This is the
Wait,
forum.
yes, you should. That's why
Yeah.
I'm here.
dude, okay.
He got a handle for Christmas, and it's had one night out of it. That's it. It's still in the
I don't know what a
half
handle
gallon.
is.
Half
Sorry,
gallon.
Half gallon.
Buddy of mine bought me
Oh.
a half gallon of Jack.
Oh, come on. You're from here. You know what a handle is.
I didn't
So-
understand. I didn't know. I know.
So I've never told this on the air. It's embarrassing. It's not something I'm proud of. There's a few things that Troy has witnessed just being in this place that, are embarrassing and tough. And my drinking was getting more abusive, if you will. Like I was like, okay, I'll just have my whiskey, and then I would stay up late and I would drink too much, and then I wouldn't remember shit. I have conversations with Troy, I wouldn't remember them, and like nothing. I couldn't remember shit, and I still struggle a little bit. But so one night I'm having drinks, I was having whiskey, and Troy was drinking whatever, his vodka and juice, and he went to bed and I stayed up, and I don't feel like I drank that much. Obviously I did. I went to bed, took Cece with me, and then, I don't know, went into some, dude, I trashed my room. I, ripped the fucking radio out of the wall and chucked it. I broke my fucking fan. I was apparently screaming at some point, laughing for no reason. And the next morning, I wake up, and shit's everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, Troy, what happened? And he was like, bro, I think it's time to take it down a notch. And I was like, what the fuck? I think I texted you. I said, what the fuck did I do last night? And you were like, bro, Troy's really good. I'll give Troy this. We kind of have a don't ask, don't tell. Like, hey, man, if you're doing something that maybe you shouldn't be doing, you know best. So handle it. You don't need me telling you. And I don't need him telling me. So we kind of both respect each other's boundaries, and if we're going to cross a line, we're not going to judge each other. It's a judge-free zone. But that was one of just a couple of times where Troy was like, bro, I don't know where you're going with this. I don't know what you think we're accomplishing here, but this isn't good. And I was so embarrassed, and all I could text back was, dude, I'm so sorry. I don't know. Like, I woke him up in the middle of the night. I probably scared the fucking shit out of my dog. I don't remember any of it. And so I was just like, you know what? We're just going to put this down for a while. And then since then, and that was months ago, 6-8 months ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Since then, I went to dinner with Beth one night, and I had one cocktail. She and I each had a drink, and that was it. And then I had one other night where I drank, and nothing got out of control, but I still didn't like the way I felt in the morning. And I went, you know what? Why? I don't need to necessarily do this. I don't feel great the next morning, so I'm not going to say I'll never have another drink again. But for right now, it's probably serving me best to just leave it. That
I get
makes
it.
sense. Yeah. I don't know if that answered your question. I don't even remember what the question was anymore. But
I asked if you were still drinking.
yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
it was a long-winded
You
answer.
answered.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
And that's something
good.
I've never talked about before. So there you go.
Breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, in your face, Patreon, if that's a thing.
It is.
Oh, it is. You should find out.
Let's see. When were you, what year of the Drew and Mike show were you getting the most pussy? Let me rephrase the question.
Okay.
Where it was to the point where you were like, I have too many bitches. Like, I know that show was so popular.
Yeah.
And it was huge. And if you weren't, participating in other fun stuff, there was a lot of groupies. The question is, what year was the height of that?
2000
2000.
to 2005.
Nice.
I don't know.
2000s.
The 2000s. Yeah, because I started there as an intern in 95 and then came back full time after doing a show in Lansing and one in Kalamazoo. Came back in 97 as a full-time member, and then was there until it ended.
That's fucking great.
But you know what, dude? To be honest with you, I was never one who could juggle the girls. Now, if you wanted to ask Troy about this, Troy could tell some stories. But I was never very good.
I can't even imagine how much damage Troy would have done.
Oh
if he
my
were
God,
you.
dude! I swear to God, I'm not even kidding you. There was a time. Was it New Year's at Roosevelt's? And do you remember Roosevelt's bar at 12 and Orchard? Yeah. We knew everybody there. We worked there.
Yeah, it was a pool hall, right?
That's correct.
Pool hall, exactly. Mm-hmm. We were there for a New Year's one year, and the place was huge. And I'm not fucking kidding you. We meet up there, and everybody we know is hanging out. There were 4 girls in that bar that all thought they were dating Troy. And
they were all dating me.
Yeah.
Just not exclusive.
He had them positioned where it was like, this one's in that far corner, this one's in that far corner, and these 2 were in separate corners. And the whole night, he would just go table in a roundabout, all 4 of them. And all 4 of them left that night having no idea about the other 3. It's remarkable. One of the craziest things I've ever witnessed. I mean, I'm very proud of him for it still.
It is exhausting.
But I was never that guy. So while there were plenty of opportunities, especially if you know when you're talking groupies, it wasn't like rock star groupies, but I know what you mean. But I didn't juggle a bunch. I wasn't playing like, oh, I've got 3 girls on the line or 2. I just didn't really do that.
It wasn't the time when you were like, hey, what's up, Sarah? Puts on latex glove. You're like, how bad do you want to be in the Drew and Mike calendar? Like that never happened?
Yeah, of course that happened. Duh.
What gets better pussy, voodoo
you...
hippies or struggling comedian?
Say that again?
Hippies.
Well, what got more pussy, voodoo hippies or struggling comedian?
Man, it's close.
Hippies. Rock bands, dude.
Know,
come on.
I did well back in the day, and
I've heard horror stories.
And I've done well in the present day.
You're killing it right now, my man.
Yeah,
you won life.
I got no complaints. No complaints. Let's see. All right, just a couple more questions. This has been fun. Okay, so when Kid Rock shot up beer.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Yep.
How mad were you?
How mad at Kid Rock was I?
No, not necessarily at the kid who shot up beer and still serves the same beer at his bars and restaurants, but that he was mad, that he was mad at stuff. Do you think? I guess my question is, did that make you really want to listen to him and support him, his music? Or did it make you think, shut the fuck up, you dumb motherfucker?
No, I didn't think that. I didn't think either of those things. I think, and this is just my personal opinion, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me wholeheartedly. That's fine. When I'm going off about trans issues and people go, Jesus Christ, how much do you hate trans people? And I can, till I'm blue in the face, say, but I don't. I don't hate trans people at all. And it doesn't seem to matter to some people. They just hear whatever they want. I'm looking at the overall bigger picture of society. And maybe that's very ego-maniacal of me to think like, this is going to be damaging to future generations. What are you putting out there? And so all these little clicks, all these little things like, oh, Budweiser. Like, Budweiser has been nothing if not red, white, and blue, baseball, apple pie, hot dogs, fucking barbecue cookouts, America. That's what Budweiser was. So to throw your fucking support into this absolute woman face grift of what Dylan Mulvaney is, and there's no other way. Like, there's plenty of trans people who are appalled at the behavior of this guy. You know, oh my God, what is a sport? What is sports? I'm just a dumb girl. Like, that was offensive. So when Kid Rock shot that stuff up, I don't think Kid Rock actually gives a shit. I don't think he's ever cared. I've never gotten the idea that he gives a shit about trans people or gay people. In fact, I would say he's probably quite liberal on that stuff. But the feelings that I had, like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Really? This is what I understand it on a bigger scale. It's the only way I can really describe it is it seems like it feels unnatural. Like the ball's moving down the road. That's fine. Progress happens. It feels like an unnatural, forced progress. And I think that's what you're seeing from people's reaction. Because I don't believe Kid Rock hates trans people. I can almost be sure of it. But does it make me want to go listen to his hits? No. Does it make me want to go buy his new album? No.
I was
for what it's
watching
worth,
him.
but knowing him over the years, just very little bit, and knowing guys in his band, the people in Twisted Brown Trucker are some of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. Unbelievable. Tons of diversity, great people. And the bunch of times that Kid Rock's been around, he's always been great. He's not for everybody. I get it. And a lot of people are like, fuck you, to shooting up the cans.
He's the most Michigan human being that there has ever been created.
Yeah,
you can't deny how he's unapologetically redneck, from money, and acts wiggerish, and but is so good at he obviously had money to do all the lessons and teach himself, etc.
Yeah, but he's
so
not that. He's
Michigan.
not that talented as a musician. I don't want to
You're
give
out
a
of
lot
your
of.
mind. You're
What?
out of your mind. He's phenomenal.
You
I've
think
seen him
he's a
play
phenomenal
drums.
musician on the drums?
Oh
Are
my
you
God,
fucking
yes.
joking?
I saw
You're
him
joking.
I'm not. I saw him on the first tour, and he got on every fucking instrument. And he
I saw
crushed
that
it.
too.
I was impressed.
Holy fuck, dude. Okay,
But
that's fine.
Honestly,
He's not. It's a great gig. It's a great bit when he's playing the drums, and he can keep a 4/4 time. He's not a good drummer. He's not a good guitarist.
right.
He's not
okay.
I think he was
Sure.
more impressive on the keys, but
He's not a good singer.
He's better.
but
he's better than me.
He's perfect for what he is. He's perfect for what he is.
Yeah,
I get the
absolutely.
impression you don't like him, Chris.
I don't know him. I'm just saying I don't have a problem with him as a person. I don't fucking know him. When he says shit, I just disagree with some of it, a lot of it.
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's fair.
all. It's nothing else. It's nothing else. And it doesn't matter that I disagree with him. I just love that I do.
You know what? I notice a lot of people doing this, and people have posted on social media a lot of this. Like they'll post the home he grew up in, right? His dad owned a few dealerships or something. So that's what you mean when you say came from money. But I thought, you can't help where you came from, right?
Nope.
You can't help, it's not my fault I grew up middle class. Shit, I wish my parents grew up in Beverly Hills and I was a fucking billionaire. I'm not, though. Kid Rock couldn't help it either. And Kid Rock, I thought, fought with his dad like crazy and moved out at 15 and was sleeping on fucking, floors in bars and shit in downtown Detroit. Now, that doesn't mean he grew up like Eminem, but it also wasn't like his dad handed him everything. I thought he left. His story is at 15, he left and was doing his own gigs and booking his own shit. So I have respect for that.
The guy's successful. I mean, he's successful. He's from Michigan. There's no question. I respect him. I'm not a fan, but that's all.
He's no Bob Seger. I get it.
But he's also at least look at somebody like Atanas Illich. Atanas Illich is no different than coming from Bob Ritchie's dad. I want to say Guy Ritchie, but I think that's because he's a star.
No,
British director.
Guy Ritchie
so
was married to Madonna, not Mrs. Rock.
right, yeah. So not the right person, but Atanas. It's when he was in the band, he was Atanas, and it was right around the Miami Vice time, and it was blue T-shirt, white cotton suit. It was on billboards all over Detroit. Whenever this is probably 2000s ish. It was just but I remember, and I would be talking to Blackwell, who was Seeger's road manager at the time. Atanas could afford to hire the most amazing session musicians and musicians for his band.
Yeah,
and he could release these incredible records, and it's no one's going to see you, dude. It's because your dad invented pizza.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Whatever.
I don't remember those
awesome.
billboards though. I don't remember that.
I do. I was so that's the thing that when I was younger, I was the most competitive motherfucker. I didn't I was just all I thought about was scratching and clawing.
Yeah.
If you put flyers up, I put flyers over your flyers.
Yeah, you went as hard as anyone I've ever met, and you came from middle to upper middle class, right? Went to Brother Rice, I believe, or CC, one of those two, Brother Rice. And there's no doubt, but at the same time, whatever was given to you or whatever, you had no shit. You would fucking kick in the door of my office at Riff and just be like, I want to be on the show. What do I got to do? Let's do it. Like
Yeah.
nobody does that. You know who
I know, it's
did?
really tiring.
Who was the guy that you sent over here? Who was the guy you sent over? He was a big time LA DJ. He's a buddy of yours. He discovered
Frazier.
Frazier, yeah.
Frazier
came by.
Smith. He discovered Van Halen.
Discovered Van Halen. He also apologizes because he discovered Poison. But the stories he tells about David Lee Roth, like climbing up the side of the building and breaking into the studio when he was doing it, and like like it was like what was it, Airheads, the Adam Sandler movie? It was almost like a real life. That's how they were. And David Lee Roth came from a lot of money, but that drive.
Money.
Yeah, you had that drive. Kid Rock absolutely had that drive, and so did David.
It's so funny though, and you don't even think about it. If you remove the name Lee from
David
Lee Roth, he becomes the most Jewish-sounding accountant. Who does your accountant? Dave Roth. Oh, yeah. I love Dave. He's great.
Or an IRA. He's a Dave Roth IRA.
Roth there. Yeah.
See what I did there?
Well, that was amazing. All right, let me ask you my final questions and rapid fire them because I've loved this because we did a little over an hour.
Yeah.
Also, why I'm here, since more people listen to this show than mine, my podcast starts tomorrow.
When do I get to be a guest on it?
Whatever you want. Probably like in a week or so. I want to do a couple of myself, get them under my belt.
Sure.
But yeah, definitely. But check it out. It's called Newberg Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to something.
Awesome.
At 1 o'clock. Yeah.
Same format as before. Are you changing anything, or is it going to be
changed it
just
up?
The
I'm focusing on just pursuing your dreams and the difficulties and realities of.
I love it, dude.
Everything.
I love reading your posts. They're so informative, and it really gives people what I consider to be a much clearer look at the grind of what it is to be a writer in Hollywood or a comic. You know, the way you break that stuff down is, I think, super informative, and I love reading it. All the stuff you post.
That's awesome. Yeah. I hope it catches on. All right, if you could say now, based on all of the things you had to say and the pepper you had on your voice at the beginning of the show,
sure.
If you could say anything to your audience at all, what would you say?
Nothing. I say it to them every day. They know I love them.
Are you sure? Are you sure you've never told them you love them before until just now?
Yeah, no, they know. They know, and I'm appreciative of how supportive the ones are that are supportive. I don't know. I like input from people. Send me your emails, walters@detroitcast.com. I love reading them. I'm sure people will have some questions about this. I know some people are going to want me to don't change anything. Some people probably want me to do other stuff, and I feel the same thing that the audience does. I can actually feel the frustration that some may have with oh my God, too many trans things, or oh my God, if I hear Donald Trump's name again. I get it. And so I'm working hard on that. I'm finding ways to keep myself enjoying what I'm doing, and at the same time being conscious of, whatever, the topics that rub people so harshly, even if that's not the intent,
It's weird. Most of the time when I'm rubbed harshly, I enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't.
Depends how harshly.
I don't.
Well,
sorry, that
awesome,
wasn't very
dude.
rapid fire.
It wasn't very rapid fire, but let's see. Oh, yeah. I had some question that someone asked that I thought was funny that I promised I would ask.
Okay.
Hold on. It made me laugh.
Hey, the rapid fire segment of today's show is brought to you by Janet Davis Cleaners on Woodward and Berkeley. It's family owned since 1938, and they offer free pickup and delivery. They use only the best environmentally friendly cleaning methods, meaning it's guaranteed odor free. There are full service dry cleaners, casual clothes, work clothes, wedding gowns, as well as sheets, comforters, duvet covers, tablecloths, and more. Visit JanetDavisCleaners.com or call them at 248-543-0340. Mention TDC or Newberg and get $20 off your first home pickup for new customers only.
I love it.
All right, here's a question.
Okay.
Someone wants to know. Let's see. God damn it, where'd it go? I think we'll see. Someone wants to know how long your penis is. And
Today?
whether or not No, it was on. It was such a fucking. It was
Is it
such
more
a
than
funny
7 inches?
question. It was like, how long is the penis? But then like, and how many inches between that and the floor or something? It
That's
was so dumb. I just
that
laughed.
is so dumb. It's like, it's like,
You want a tape measure?
yeah. Give me a tape measure. How many?
Oh, you're not
inches
gonna
from
do
the-
it.
Inches. Excuse me while I whip this out.
Oh no.
I'm
You
not
boys
answering that
like
question.
Mexico?
I'm not answering
no,
that
it's my
question. That's
favorite.
beneath me.
That's funny. Oh, of course, because your penis is beneath you. That's
Right.
hilarious.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, where
well-
can people see your special? We need more
Oh,
people
yeah,
to watch
man.
your special, dude. Where?
I do. It's on YouTube. It's way too soon. J. Chris Newberg on YouTube.
Okay.
It's just so hard. It's so fucking hard to get people to watch shit, man. It's
I know.
so hard.
I know.
It's
There
so
was
hard to get
one
people to
I
listen
wanted
when
to.
everyone's talking.
I watched it a while ago, and there was something in there that was so fucking funny to me, and I meant to reach out to you to tell you because artists love hearing when other people compliment their work. There was something it's gonna escape me, but there was some segment in there that I was like, "This is fucking hilarious." So way too soon. Way
Yep,
too
way too soon. It's
with-
on YouTube. Is the
Yeah.
easiest place to check it out. And yeah, that's it, man.
Is that it?
But
Is that
I
all
was,
you got
I
for me?
really love that. I love that you talk to me. I think this is cool. I know you guys normally do like 12 hours.
No, we don't.
But yeah,
We're getting there.
it was
It's
a
an
good
hour and 10. We
It
do
was
an
a-
hour 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a good hour 10 of Walter's discussion.
Yeah. Let's see.
Do you have
should I
anything else? Do you have any questions for me while I'm here?
Yeah. How long are you going to grow that beard?
Probably like another. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna fuck with it until someone tells me to. Next time I do a
Yeah.
TV thing or something.
Part two to that question: do you feel like you're being disrespectful to the naturally bald community because you're shaving your head when you don't need to be?
Good question.
I feel like you're mildly disrespectful.
No, my hair, it's really funny that it looks like I have hair, but it's like it's this thin, and it's like when I grow it out, I look like a guy with. It doesn't look. I'm baldish.
Really?
I mean, hair grows, but
Yeah, it does.
mostly on the jaws.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. It's like I think having done all of the stuff I've done in entertainment for as long as I have, I don't think I've gotten noticed as much as I think the beard counteracts the middle-aged white dude for some reason. It feels different, but I get more calls on it now, and I think maybe it's just because there's definitely like beard-specific parts. So
Yeah.
it could give me work.
yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know some people it bothers them. I started a new segment, which is really a take on an old segment that I used to do where I would go, like, look up Dear Jane or Dear Abby columns, and I would go through archives and just find interesting, like, wife bitching about husband. And I was saying that I wanted you to write a jingle for the Dear T. Roy segment where I just grab these old questions and we kind of debate them. Do you want me to read one that I had for him and get your
Yeah,
take
just
on
talk to you guys talk to yourselves for a second. I'm going to grab my guitar. Let's do this on the fly.
Oh, boy.
it? Okay. All right.
Well,
One second.
All right, T, you want me to do one here for you?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Let me fix this.
Okay.
Hey, look at that. I'm here.
There you go. Dear T. Roy,
Yes.
I have a friend who doesn't drive
Okay.
and constantly asks me to take her places.
Okay.
As a good friend, I do it. When I take her to an event, we agree on a time.
Now, is this a don't drive because she's got a couple Deweys or too lazy, doesn't have a car? We don't know.
I have no idea.
No
She
backstory
just
on
says,
not driving.
No.
Just doesn't drive.
No.
Okay.
We agree on a time that we will leave, but she invariably stays behind
Sorry
to
about that,
chat
fellas.
with.
You're good. No
That's
problem,
all right.
pal.
You know what I want? I'll start this over because I'm only a sentence in, and I'll let Chris hear it too.
Sure.
You there, Chris?
I am.
Okay. Do you want me to ask this question and you and Troy can both answer it?
No, you take this one, Chris. I'm exhausted.
Dear Chris, I have a friend who doesn't drive and constantly asks me to take her places. As a good friend, I do it. When I take her to an event, we agree on a time that we will leave, but she invariably stays behind to chat with other people 30 or 45 minutes past the time that we agreed on. In addition, she never offers anything for fuel. I think she's inconsiderate, and I'm thinking about telling her she will need to find her own rides. Am I wrong for this? Over it in New Jersey.
I have one simple answer. Ass, grass, or cash. Nobody rides for free.
All right.
It's a classic.
Mr.
I
Newberg?
like the music. The
Yeah.
music is adding to it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
No doubt. Do you have an answer? Do you have a retort?
He wasn't even listening.
I know. He was tuning.
You're not going anywhere again with me, bitch. Till you give me gas money. And if you come and I drive and you don't shut the fuck up at the end of the night when I'm ready to leave, guess what? I'm putting weird stuff in your mouth.
I love it.
That's my answer.
That was a great guitar picking there.
Yeah. Was that a first fret capo?
Yeah, as you
No,
got the
no
capo on the first fret. Oh, no
okay.
capo.
No
All
fret
right.
capo.
Very good, very good. Is there anything else you want to tell people?
No, but I think it'd be really funny. Like,
Yeah.
I was, I'll just tell you this really quick. You heard about the Dalai Lama, right?
Yeah, suck my tongue.
Yeah, I think it'd be so fucking awesome if you'd be like, this song is about quotes. This is from the Dalai Lama. And you're like, I did this yesterday, and I think it'd be really funny. The Dalai Lama quote song. In order to carry a positive action, we must develop positive vision. Suck my tongue. That's it.
Perfect.
It's not done yet.
Did you do that on stage? Did you
I'm
do that
gonna.
on stage? Yeah.
I haven't yet.
Oh, that's funny because you could probably add to that. Hasn't Mr. Llama been in some he's had some trouble before?
Mr. Llama.
I call him Dolly, but we've digressed.
Yeah, I don't know him that well. Out of respect, I call him Mr. Llama. But I think he said shit about like, well, if this chick's going to be part of the Buddhism, whatever, she better be hotter. And it's like, holy shit, Mr. Llama, please. So he can.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
He's a jokester.
Look into him a little bit, but he is a jokester. Do you think that suck on my tongue thing was just a joke? Like, even if it not so well
absolutely.
received? Yeah.
100%.
You don't think in front of the cameras and the whole world, he was asking an 8-year-old to
I
suck
don't
his
give a
tongue?
fuck. He was chosen as like a 2-year-old to be like, hey kid, you're God.
Yeah.
You think he doesn't, he farts. He absolutely does all that shit. What's the name of the section? I already have the song for it.
What's that? What's the name of
the section that you wanted music for? What's it called?
Oh, Ask T-Roy.
Ask T-Roy.
Nailed it.
That's it.
That's great.
I love it.
I mean, I would expect nothing more or less
Yeah.
from you.
Sure.
That's super good.
Yeah,
I'm glad
we're
you
gonna
guys
need that.
talked.
We're gonna need
Thanks
that
for
in a
doing
hard
this. This is
copy over
cool.
here. Stat.
Yeah.
I'll record it and I'll send it along.
Yeah, please do. Send me an MP3.
Right on.
All right, kid. Well, good luck tomorrow. Let me know when you want me
thanks
on
for
the
chatting
show
with
or
me.
if you want tea. Of course,
No.
man.
I'd like, we'll definitely do this in like a couple weeks once I get settled.
Very good. I love it. All right, buddy. It's
All
great
right.
to see you as always. Thank you for putting the time and effort into asking such hard-hitting questions. I appreciate it. I'm just glad
My
I didn't
pleasure.
cry. Yeah. All right, kid. Have a good rest of the day. Say hi to Michelle for us.
All right, well, see y'all. I'm going to hang
buddy.
up.
All right, hang up.
Okay, bye.
I think we'll just hang up from there as well, T.
Okay, why not?
What do you
Let's just
think?
Shut her down.
Shut her
I didn't know
down.
if you had any emails or anything you wanted to get into.
I could, but they're going to be along the same topics.
Oh, well then, whatever.
We'll just wait till tomorrow.
Okie dokie.
Why not?
Yeah, let's do the same thing tomorrow instead of doing it all today. Why not?
No, it's someone that takes issue with a Bud Light and Troy's false premise, but I'll hold it till tomorrow.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
All
buddy.
right, I'm a little saucy. I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah. You want me to read it?
No, I don't care.
I mean, I can. It's a little long. That's why I'm hesitating.
It's fine.
Okay.
Thanks,
I
James.
can read. No, it's not James actually.
I know.
But I do. No, you don't know. It could have easily been James. I better than us. I will read this one from Mr. Craig Backus, who I love down in Texas. I was thinking you might like to get freaked out about your sex bot / killer nightmare. I watched the show Better Than Us on Netflix a couple years ago. It was made in Russia, but it's dubbed in English, and it's well done. Takes place in the not too distant future, and the sex bot becomes the family protector, and then takes it to the next level, and her creators aren't sure what to do next.
Sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to scare us. This is like my nightmare, your nightmare.
Yeah. We got to figure out how because you can't like unplug them.
Yeah.
When this thing goes sideways, you got to figure out a way, and you know, can't just get in there and take the batteries out.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of EMP that you can detonate to shut them down.
At the risk of alienating the audience because of topic choices, I will say that I noticed that Elon Musk was going to be a 2-day interview subject, Tucker Carlson.
Oh, okay.
So as I went to bed last night, so Tucker flew to some hotel in L.A. and had a one-on-one face-to-face with Elon. And it was about, I mean, myriad things, but one of the things was about AI, and Tucker kind of drilled down, like, what is your main, like, what are you really worried about? Like, and he was talking about, you just don't know. Like, we as a species are the smartest things on this planet.
Yeah.
There's no mammal, that's smarter than us. So for us to create something that's smarter than the smartest one of all of us.
And has the ability to continue getting smarter.
Yeah. He said it wouldn't be like Terminator. But he said where they could really fuck you up is if they're able to write better than anyone, and you could have some sort of AI that is writing bullshit, that is writing stuff that is so fucking that you think it's real, that it's just got all of it. It's kind of like your thoughts on the swapping faces shit.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like, oh god,
the deep fake stuff.
The deep fake stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, where it doesn't have to come out with a machine gun and start blowing us all away to really fuck things up.
Sure.
That it's so much smarter and more advanced with its abilities and what its knowledge
about the deep fake porn becoming a real issue.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are they doing? Taking like celebrities and putting them into porn?
Yeah, basically. And you can do it with anybody. Doesn't matter. And you could blackmail. Well, listen, you could blackmail somebody.
Yeah.
Make a video of him banging somebody else. Make here you go, man, $1 million, or we're gonna leak this to the press and your wife or whatever. Like, yeah, but that's not me. Like, yeah, but nobody else fucking knows that, dickhead.
Yeah.
Who else? It wasn't me. He doesn't fly anymore.
Like, I think of bad edit jobs where, you put someone's head on someone else's body and it's clearly not their body.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not that.
Right.
They're going to get way better than that.
Have you watched the Rogan AI? The episode that's all AI?
No.
It's out now.
When did he do it?
Within the last week or two, maybe, something like that.
Do you remember who the guest was?
Well, no, it's somebody about AI.
Okay.
And so I have to find it for sure. But it's like episode 1 of the Joe Rogan podcast, like
AI
series? or whatever.
Really?
And there's no video to it.
There's no video to it.
No, because it's not. It's all AI.
Oh, it's fake. It's a fake episode.
It is an entire episode.
Yes, I've heard him address this.
It's an entire episode of Rogan interviewing a guy about the AI, and it's this conversation about the AI, but it's all AI.
Yeah.
It's fucking completely generated.
Can you find a snippet of it?
I'm sure I can,
He said, I heard Rogan say this. Someone, I think, don't hold me to this, but I'm almost positive, someone did a deep fake interview where Joe Rogan interviews the founder of Apple.
Okay.
What's his name? Who died a few years ago? Steve Jobs.
Jobs, yeah.
And he's like, I never interviewed Steve Jobs.
Okay.
And it's like,
I got like a 2-minute clip here if you want.
Okay,
to see it.
yeah. We can do that.
There's no even actually. The only thing I'll show you is this because look at the logo.
Oh yeah.
Is that me or is that you? That's me, I think.
My day, Joe Rogan Podcast, my night, all day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first
I think that's
episode
supposed to be like their AI version of him. I'm
Yeah,
like, doesn't
for
look
sure.
anything like him or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like a whole thing. This is like a 2-minute
Joe
segment.
Rogan AI experience. I'm your host, Joe Rogan, or at least that's what this AI model thinks I sound like. Let me tell you, folks, this is some next level stuff we've got going on here today. Every single word of this podcast.
Now, I will say, I listened to it. It sounds great. Now, if you really listen to this,
You can
and
tell it's not.
You know it's not, right?
Yep.
Because you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like the what's this? The trackball golf Golden Tee.
Yeah.
You know where they're using like kind of real clips, but it's just not totally
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You know, his inflections are just they stay too much in the zone. He
Choosing
never
the
gets,
right words, though. The
Yeah.
folks,
Right. No,
folks, he
it's
said,
very
like-
close. Like I said, if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't. If you listen to it, and again, this is so early on.
Yeah.
That this is.
We're screwed.
Oh, we're fucked. Totally
Yeah,
fucked
we
here.
are.
Podcast has been generated with the help of ChatGPT, the cutting-edge AI language model developed by OpenAI. I am not the real Joe Rogan. Let me repeat it once more. I am not Joe Rogan, and the guests are not the people they portray. This is purely fiction, just for fun, so don't go around making little clips for your TikToks and make the world believe I said things I never said. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as said by the real people they portray. This is purely for entertainment purposes and an experience showcasing the amazing advancements in AI technology. So
Or
sit back,
horrific
relax, and let's
advancements.
dive into this AI-generated world.
I don't know if it really matters if you do the pause thing or not and not getting booted, but I'm going to try it anyway just in case.
I don't think we'd get booted for that.
Maybe not.
I mean, it
wasn't
is
gonna- I
probably
wasn't gonna screw-
copyrighted.
Yeah, I
but-
wasn't going to screw around with it, but just in case. I
Do,
think,
do they have him interviewing someone?
yeah,
Like-
so then this
Okay.
is like the intro, but there's a whole show, like an hour, or I don't know how
Jesus.
long the full segment technically is, but of him interviewing somebody that's like a leading AI expert.
Okay.
Play.
World. Let's get weird, folks. It's time to welcome our first guest to the show, and I've got to say, this is a big one. We've got none other than the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, joining us today. Sam's been at the forefront of the AI industry for years, and it's an honor to have him on the show. So let's give a warm AI-generated welcome to Sam Altman. How are you doing, Sam?
I'm doing great, Joe. Thanks for having me on the show.
Sam, this whole AI-generated podcast thing is pretty wild. It's like we're living in the future, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a strange experience, but it's also incredibly exciting. The advancements in AI technology have come a long
Yeah, we're doomed. We're doomed.
Here's the problem with this. I can tell this is fake,
Absolutely.
but
But you won't in about 6 months.
yeah. And if you think it's not going to get way better,
Right.
Like we'll look back and laugh at this.
Yeah.
That's an incredible Joe Rogan.
It is.
and
It
it
is. Like
mimics his style
Yes.
greatly.
It does. The inflections, the things like that. Like, if you really listen to it, if you know Joe Rogan enough.
We've got to get an AI expert on to talk about some of this stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, because I
It
don't.
scares the shit out of me, dude. It really
It
does.
should. It does. It does me too.
Yeah.
And
not
it's-
just the Skynet shit. Like,
Is it this that's like, look at the shiny object over here. We got trans idiot on a Bud Light can. Look at the fucking trans idiot on the Bud Light can.
Right, maybe.
When this is really what they don't want you paying attention to. I don't know. This is terrifying. We need to get an like. I don't understand. The very first one you showed me was Tom Cruise.
with
with
what's
Bill
our guy?
Hader.
With Bill Hader doing that transitioning in the talk show.
I don't know how they made their faces like so good.
Yes.
Like I don't understand the technology that made that possible. Just like the one we watched the other day, I just don't understand.
There's a
Arnold one.
Oh, yeah.
That dick.
Yeah.
Like how did they get? You knew right away what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But it is so good at morphing between
Oh, yeah.
Paul Rudd and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
There's one that's a comedian, I forget who, but he's a impersonator. Does a million voices.
Yeah, like a Frank Caliendo.
Somebody like that, right?
Yeah.
But it's a clip of him as he's going through all these things and he's morphing into all of these
I think I've
different
seen
people
that.
as he does these voices and stuff
Yeah.
and transitions. So it's one thing to just to have kind of one or whatever. And even, Hader kind of morphs his face a little bit and then it makes it easier to do it. This guy kind of does the thing, you do like the Jack or the De Niro, the fucking you kind of
Pacino.
Yeah, you kind of contort your face into that look a little bit and then right, exactly. But but then the digitally it takes it to the next level. So I mean, how much?
Yeah.
I think it used to be just enhance it, but now it doesn't even matter. I don't think.
Here's reason for some people you might want someone like Donald Trump to become president again, because I know South Park has those studios that they were working on a script. Like they assumed he would get a second term.
Yeah.
And they had a movie that was going to be completely AI, I believe, or Chat GPT.
Yeah, right.
Written with like real Donald Trump as the president, something like that. It's like that's either shelved forever or the guy becomes president again.
Yeah, and they can dust it off.
All bets are off. You know what I mean? Like they can dust that off and like go with it. But that seems awesome in their hands.
I mean, that's definitely the
You know what I
reason
mean?
I'd vote for him.
Yeah, just to get the South Park movie.
Just for Trey and fucking.
Oh man, it's scary. I think honestly, while I get into the weeds about some of this stuff, and I'm doing my best, guys, I really am, to not bum people out, and I understand the topics and whatnot, and I can I'll keep doing as better and whatnot. I can't remember where I was going to go with that. Fuck, I always do that, don't I, T?
Most of the time.
Yeah, whatever. There was a point of that I don't think we have any clue.
Oh God, no.
At all. Like, I really don't. I don't even think the people in charge of the AI, because I think it's laughable.
Yeah.
To when someone like Elon
what could
Musk
possibly
says, pause for 6 months. I'm like, 6 months?
Yeah, no. What could possibly go wrong with some research in Wuhan?
Right.
We're just trying to find out what's going on here.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
just harmless research. What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly?
Yeah, pandemic.
Again, the road to hell.
Pandemic.
Global pandemic, killed millions.
Right.
Fucking Fauci. Anyways, but yeah, dude, when
Watch
you
your mouth with Lord Fauci, sir.
Sorry, Saint Lord Fauci. But imagine when you're going to be able to take that AI and do an interview with Fauci and have him say anything you want, and people that, or any government official, really.
Yep.
I mean, it's just going to be so confusing. People are not going to know.
No, and
what
as
to believe,
stupid
and
as
what not
people
to
are,
believe.
all people. I'm not even just pointing at one side or another.
No.
All people are fucking stupid. And all people want to believe what they want to believe.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to manipulate people and show them something that they want to believe. And no matter how disproven it becomes, it's fact.
Yeah.
It will absolutely be fact.
Yeah.
And it's not going to take
Yuri
too
Bezmenov?
much of that.
Is that was it Yuri Bezmenov? Is he the Russian who warned us about that in like 79?
Oh, right. Yeah.
80?
Wow. That's the whole transition and all the,
Yeah, about the work's already been done.
Right.
So he said
groundwork's
this in 1980. Like, the groundwork's already been laid. There's already, all you need is one generation to warp their minds. But what stood out was, in the face of the truth, these people will not believe it. And that's what we're seeing.
It is.
That's the part
one of the
that's
scariest
so
parts.
fucking scary.
Yep,
it's
exactly.
like where you can go, no. Look, I understand why you feel that way, but let me just show you the facts. And both sides would say this about the other. So this isn't
that's
like
just it, right? It's
one
exactly
side's right and one side's wrong.
Facts. What is a fact anymore?
Exactly.
That's the gray, scary area that we're in.
Yeah.
Is what is truth? What is facts?
Yeah.
And facts can be disputed by either side.
And it doesn't take much to fall for it or to dismiss it.
Exactly.
Like all of those things,
Right.
depending on who's saying it, it's only going to get more muddy.
If you don't want to believe it, it's very easy to not believe it.
Right.
No matter how.
Yeah. But when he
Factual it
pointed
is.
that out so calmly, so casually in 1980, we've played the audio before,
Yeah.
where he's like, oh, no, it's already been done. They've captured multiple generations.
Right.
And
if any of you have not listened to it, I strongly recommend.
Yeah,
is it
Yuri Bezmenov?
I think
Am I
that's
getting-
that
fuck,
sounds right, but I don't know.
some Russian. Just Google Russian.
Yep.
I want to say it was Yuri Bezmenov.
Yes, 39 years ago, a KGB defector chillingly predicted modern something.
How long is that?
This is a 1337. This
13
interview
minutes.
right here. Yep.
Yeah.
There looks like there's a 26-minute version.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Subversion of America by Yuri Bezmenov.
Yeah, okay. Damn it, I was right. Yuri Bezmenov.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you nailed it.
Very proud of that. I lose my train of thought in mid-sentence, but I get that.
2-minute 20. I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, you got a 2-minute one?
I have
Let's
a
do
2-minute one. You want to see it?
it. Sure.
Let's see what.
So this is a KGB defector who's Russian,
Yes.
Yuri Bezmenov, and he's talking, I want to say this is 1980.
Whatever I just said the
1980,
math
yeah.
on it was.
39 years ago, did you say?
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
But you won't believe, if we play the right spot, you won't believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is.
how-
This is a 2-minute. Leftists are useful idiots who self-serve only to destabilize society.
Yeah.
Russian spy Yuri Bezmenov reveals how the Soviet agency KGB used leftists to destabilize India.
Okay, I don't know if this looks like the same interview, but I don't know.
I believe that it is.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
Yeah, those glasses don't lie. Oh, what?
local Vietnamese citizens who knew absolutely everything about people who are instrumental in public opinion, including barbers and taxi drivers. Everyone who was sympathetic to the United States was executed. Same thing was done under the guidance of the Soviet embassy in Hanoi, and same thing I was doing in New Delhi. To my horror, I discovered that in the files where people were doomed to execution, there were names of pro-Soviet journalists with whom I was personally friendly.
Pro-Soviet?
Yes. They were idealistically minded leftists who made several visits to USSR, and yet the KGB decided that come revolution or drastic changes in political structure of India, they will have to go.
Why is that?
Because they know too much. Simply because, you see, the useful idiots, the leftists who are idealistically believing in the beauty of Soviet socialist or communist or whatever system, when they get disillusioned, they become the worst enemies. That's why my KGB instructors specifically made the point, never bother with leftists. Forget about these political prostitutes. Aim higher. This,
God, I love that.
this was my instruction. Try to get into large circulation, established conservative media. Rich, filthy rich movie makers, intellectuals, so-called academic circles. Cynical, egocentric people who can look into your eyes with angelic expression and tell you a lie. These are the most recruitable people, people who lack moral principles, who are either too greedy or too suffer from self-importance. They feel that they matter a lot.
Yep.
These are the people who KGB wanted very much to recruit.
But to eliminate the others, to execute the others, don't they serve some purpose? Wouldn't they be the ones they rely on?
They serve
Don't need 'em.
purpose only at the stage of destabilization of a nation. For example, your leftists in United States, all these professors and all these beautiful civil rights defenders, they are instrumental in the process of the subversion only to destabilize the nation. When their job is completed, they are not needed anymore.
Oof.
They know too much.
And that.
And on that note,
Hey, from the horse's mouth.
I forgot that he attacked like leftists. Yeah. That's probably where the term useful idiot comes from, which is used quite frequently now, useful idiots.
Right.
That will carry that message.
It sort of takes me back, we talk about the censorship and things these days, Okay, yeah, great. You think it's all fucking awesome right now because it's something that you agree with.
Right.
Now, you're just the pawn in the game that's setting the table because at some point it becomes past the point of no return.
Yeah.
And then when it's not something that you agree with, you're already fucked. Don't worry about it.
We should do a show one day where we literally sit down for this 26-minute interview. Maybe we do it in the members area. People want to listen to it, they can.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, I'd love to, because I've gone through the 13-minute version, which is fucking terrifying.
It is, all of it. That 2 minutes is terrifying.
That 2 minutes is terrifying.
Because that's fucking real. That's not somebody's opinion. This is somebody
that did it.
Exactly.
That was
implemented this whole thing.
Absolutely. And there's just no denying. Like, this happened 40 years ago. This interview's out there, and you see the breakdown of the structure at the university level.
Especially when he sets
level.
the whole thing up, exactly, in the full interview.
Yeah.
This is just a snippet of it. But if this doesn't, no matter which side you're on, if this didn't make the hair on your back stand up a little bit, you might be the problem.
And I feel like he's not talking to us. But maybe we're just that stupid.
Maybe.
And he is talking to us. Because when he's talking about egos, there's no doubt. It takes ego to jump on a microphone and think anyone gives a fuck what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right? There's ego. There's just levels of it. But that whole interview is absolutely terrifying. It's worse than 1984.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's Orwell's shit. Yeah.
Orwell's 84, which is, God, I got to tell you, it's a struggle to read some of it. But,
I watched the movie.
Yeah. But that Yuri Bezmenov stuff, as a former KGB, like breaking down how it works, and I forgot about that. They're the first ones to go.
Yep.
Like, you use them up into a point, and then you just fucking murder them.
Because before
you don't need them
before
anymore.
the light goes off, and they realize, oh shit, hey, wait, we were used.
Yeah.
They can't have that.
No.
Right.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So be careful what you wish for, kids.
And keep in mind, what he's talking about is one generation in, not four, which we are about now. So Hang on, folks. Yeah, I don't think this
It's going to be a rumpy ride.
After coming off with Newberg and having all this laid out there, like, hey, let's lighten
Look
it up,
at you, still
man.
ended up making it political. Good for you. way to bring it back around.
Hey, we gave you an extra 20 minutes. I'm sorry. So sue me.
And that's not even, listen, take left and or right out of it.
I didn't even know he was going to say that. I forgot he
I
even
didn't
talked
know
about
that was it. I just thought that was a 2-minute segment of all the clips I searched. But
Yeah.
But it's a reality. It's that and it's not left or right. It's that no matter what side you're on, fucking just stop, fucking get your head out of your ass and understand that you're being used.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you're a pawn in the game.
Yeah.
And fucking do some research. That's
Well,
all.
the scary thing is, too, like, he specifically points out celebrities, and he specifically points out academics, like people that know for a fact that they're better than you. There's only one reason why I get paid $30 million for a movie, because I'm better than you.
Of course.
If you could do it, you'd get $30 million, but you don't. I do, because I'm better than you.
Right. That's why I should be able to tell you how to think and what to feel and how to vote.
Think about some academics we know and how much,
Oh, yeah.
try as they may, push comes to shove.
Never been wrong on a thing in their life.
No. And that's just a reality. And you don't know who we're talking about, but
We do.
we do. And those people exist, and it's like, you know, you just kind of roll your eyes and you go along with it.
But every one of
But
you out
that's
there
what-
knows who we're talking about because every one of those has one of them in your circle.
Yeah.
So.
And Yuri Bezmenov points it out. I mean, couldn't be clearer. Anyway. All right, let's kill it there.
Okie dokie.
Way to wrap up on a political. Way to drag me into that shit, T. Newberg did so good. And
I
then
didn't know
you
Yuri
dragged me in.
Bezmenov's name. You said it.
I'm glad I did, too. I stand by Yuri Bezmenov. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you for joining us. Little unique experience today with Chris Newberg kind of pulling the strings, and I had fun.
Little crossover.
Yeah. Check out his new podcast starting tomorrow. It's called Newberg.
Yeah.
So no more heroin has.
And I'll try and put the post in the comment section here, but check out his video, his new special on HBO. I mean, YouTube. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I wish it was HBO. Way too soon.
Yeah, check out that one. And I would say if you haven't seen Shane Gillis's on YouTube for free, awesome. And also,
we're talking about Newberg. Why are you promoting
yeah,
Chris?
that's okay. You can watch multiple ones. I was
know.
going to tell you, Big J Okerson's just dropped.
He was just here on my birthday.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. Nobody took me. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, my bad. But yeah, he's got a new one too. They're all great. If you're looking for stuff to watch,
Definitely.
keep sending me suggestions. Walters@DetroitCast.com. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.